Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a project pan update for the month of March. I feel like I've made some pretty good progress, so I'm really excited for these updates. I didn't finish any products, but I do feel like some of these products I have made a significant amount of progress, which is really all that matters. So if you're new here, hi, my name's Vivian. I'm a robotics engineer with a love for all things beauty and makeup related, and I love trying new makeup, but I definitely want to make sure that all of the items in my collection are getting used, getting loved. So I do project pans, I do shop my stashes every month, and I hope you guys are interested. And if you are, be sure to like and subscribe if you aren't already. And with that being said, let's just hop into it. So if you guys have never watched my Project Pan series before, I try to go from least exciting to most exciting updates. So the products that I've made the most progress on, the products that I roll out, are towards the end of the video, and the products that I have the least amount of progress on, the boring ones, if you will. I start with those first to kind of lead you up to something a little bit more exciting. The first item that I have here is, again, my Rare Beauty setting powder. I truly don't understand how I made these markings, because every time I go to make a new marking, it's higher than it was before, and I really don't know how I do that. I have used this every single time I do my makeup. I've used this several times a day, and I just feel like I'm still not making a ton of progress on this. I know I'm definitely like less than halfway through with this powder, but there's still so much powder in here. I knew it was going to take me a long time. It's a loose powder. I expected this, but it has just been forever. I feel like I'm not making any visible progress with it, which sucks, because I want to be able to use up more powders in my collection, because powders is one of my most excessive categories of products that I have. I'm still making my way through this. I don't even like this powder that much. I don't find that it like lasts super well throughout the day. I still feel like my oils come through later in the day and I have to touch up, which is fine because I am an oily person. I just feel like it's a little bit more excessive with this powder than with other powders. Yeah, the tint of this is also not the greatest. I think it's a little bit too warm for my skin tone. I do feel like it can darken my foundation if I go in with too much, which also not ideal. So I'm really trying hard to work my way through this so that I can call it quits, call it done, pull in a different powder to work on. Not a very exciting update. I am working on it though, and I feel like I have to be able to make a new marking soon. I'm just not there yet. I don't know how I did this, to be quite honest with you guys. This is where we're at now. Another product that I am kind of disappointed in my progress on is this Nabla skin bronzing bronzer in the shade Soft Revenge. To be quite honest, I didn't use this as much this past month as I maybe should have. When I was in New York, I know for a fact I maybe used this once, like the entire 10 days that I was there. For me, for like an everyday makeup look, I tend to skip bronzer, especially if I'm in a rush, especially if I know people are waiting on me. I feel like blush and not putting on bronzer is like more than enough. So did not use this as much as I could have, which is probably why there's not a ton of progress on it. I know that I'm still kind of deluding myself to thinking that I'm gonna hit pan on it soon. I don't think that anymore. I think I'm just kind of coasting at this point. I'm gonna keep working on it. Yeah, this month was kind of a bad month for me when it comes to this bronzer, but I do love it. I love this bronzer like a lot. I just have not really been reaching for it this past month. The next item I want to talk about is my Lila B highlighter. This is the Divine Duo Lip in Cheek in the shade Bedazzling. I don't think I've made a ton of significant progress on this highlighter either. I know I said I was gonna repress it and try to move things towards the middle. I didn't really get around to doing that because I honestly just haven't been using it that much. I think I am going to do that today though, and just try and make a little bit more use out of it. It is getting a little bit harder to like dip my finger in there to apply. So I think if I move the product around a little bit and kind of create like a new pan, it will probably go a little bit faster than it is now. I still don't think this is my favorite highlighter out there. I think the texture is a little bit too thick. I think the shine that it has isn't really anything like super special. So I'm gonna keep working on this. I do want this out of my collection soon-ish. Hopefully once I repress it and move the product around in the pan, it will go a little bit quicker. The next item I want to talk about is my Merit the Minimalist stick. I've actually been using this quite a lot, more often than not, to be honest. I feel like I've made a decent amount of progress with this the last month. I feel like the shape of it is a lot more domed now than it was before, and I don't really know why that is. I think it's mostly because I've been picking it up on a brush more often than like drawing directly on my face. So the way that I've usually been applying this is either with the brush or drawing it onto a sponge. I feel like that is the best method of application for this because it blends easier and also just gives me like a better finish. I don't love this when drawn directly onto my face. I feel like if I do that, it can pick up on dry patches. It can also just be a lot harder to blend, especially if I don't have a super glowy, like slick base underneath. So this is what I've been reaching for every day, pretty much every day that I do my makeup. Even on days that I'm not wearing a ton of makeup, I'll still just put this underneath my eyes just for a little bit of coverage there. This product, I feel like it has taken me a really long time to get to this point, but I feel like I've also made really steady progress since putting this in my project pan. So I'm excited to see this getting closer and closer to the bottom. I am not going to repurchase this once I finish it. I think I've said that before, but it's just not my favorite product. I definitely have other foundations that I prefer over this one. Hopefully in the next couple of months I'll be able to finish this. I am going on a trip with my family at the end of June, and I really hope that I can finish this before then. I think I can. I think my goal though is to definitely have this out of my collection before the end of June. The next item I want to talk about is my NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in the shade Soft Spoken. I feel like I've made pretty good progress with this past month. I feel like every month since like November I've made the same amount of progress, so it is getting a little bit harder to hold. I'm not quite there at like the very bottom yet, but it is getting harder. I think once I am either unable to sharpen it or unable to hold it is when I'm going to call it quits. I think that's like a little bit longer though. I think I still have a couple of months. I like this. I have been using it for a really long time now. I'm glad I'm getting use out of it. It's interesting for sure. I'm working my way through it. I hope that I'll be able to finish it soon. Another item that I feel like I've made really good progress on this past month is the Viv Skin Nova Instant Radiance Primer. So in the past couple of months I've used this a lot, but I haven't really been able to like squeeze out the product to show how much product I've actually used. I was able to do that today, so you can see the tube is just much more flat. I am at least halfway through this little travel sample size, and I'm hoping that in maybe the next 2 months I'll be able to finish it up completely. It is a very gel-like consistency, so even if I go in with a lot, it doesn't take a super long time to cover my face, blend in. It never looks bad. I love the glow that it has. I've actually really been liking this. This was just in my February faves and fails as a favorite, but it has just been a really good primer. I'm even considering purchasing the full size of this. I don't know that I've done that for any other like product. I really like it. I am glad I'm able to use a product that I enjoy using for my project pan. I know with a lot of these other ones they're not my favorite, so it feels a little bit more of a push to use them up, but I genuinely enjoy using this and have been. I think it's just a really pretty product, and it doesn't make me feel oily throughout the day, which is really nice because this gal can get very oily throughout the days. Yeah, I've really been liking it. I'm glad that I can actually see some visible progress on it now, and that I've used up enough of it to like start squeezing air out so that I can actually like make it go flatter. The next item I have here is my Youthforia BYO blush oil in the shade Chemical Reaction. So this is a pH changing blush. The formula of this is quite watery. I feel like that contributes to how much of this I've actually used. So I feel like I've made pretty good progress with this. The way that I apply this usually is I'll draw it on the back of my hand. So like that, draw it on the back of my hand and then use a use a brush to blend it out. I do this because since it is like a chemical, like a pH changing blush, I feel like it's starting to change colors, specifically because if I draw it directly on my face, I'll get like foundation, skincare. I don't want the product in here to really change color. And I also feel like putting it on a brush first and like working it into a brush first makes blending it a lot easier. Also, because it's so liquidy, I do feel like it dries pretty quickly and it stains. So if I draw it directly on my face and don't immediately blend it out, I do feel like it can be a little bit splotchy and like just unblended in general. So drawing it on the back of my hand is the way to go. It does leave like kind of a stain on my skin and the back of my hand. So something to note, I really like this. I like the color of it. I like the pH changingness of it, and I think it's just kind of a really fun product, and I'm glad that I can see visible progress with this. I feel like seeing the progress is much more motivating to me than anything else. So I'm glad I've made a decent amount of progress. I think I'll be able to finish this before the end of the year, but you know, there's still a long way to go. And then the last product I have to talk about is my Kaja gloss shot. This is in the shade Pink Drink. I feel like this is a really good amount of progress. I put this on pretty much every time I do my makeup, and I reapply throughout the day, so I feel like this is pretty good progress. I think at this rate, I think I can finish this before June, the end of June as well. So yeah, not much to say here. I think the gloss is fine. It's pretty, it's not super sticky, it is very glossy, and I think that it's a good gloss. I don't think it's unique in any way. I think it's a good gloss. I like it. I'm glad to keep working on it. But yeah, it's just a gloss. It's a milky pink, not my typical color preference, but I'm making my way through it. So excited about this progress. I hope that I can continue working on it at this pace. And yeah, I think if I keep going at this pace, I should be able to finish before June. Maybe a little bit ambitious, but I'm gonna try. And that is everything that I have in my project pan. I hope you guys enjoyed this update. I know it's not the most exciting update out there, but I do feel like I've made substantial progress in a lot of these products, which is very exciting to me personally. I hope you guys are having a great day today. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.